All right, everyone. Nintern here. I'm gonna get straight into this video. I'm not gonna do a preamble or anything. There's been a lot of confusion about some certain stuff with Void Scar rotation, and me and Jom have been kind of working that out as to what's best. And I kind of just want to present some new tech that, if you're a Vengeance player, is actually probably pretty familiar to you. Basically, what it is in the last video I made, the opener started with the hunt basically, and the only change that's happening that isn't accurate anymore from my last video is that in AoE that's still true. You still want to send the hunt on cooldown in AoE just because stuff's just not going to line up very well anyway, but the hunt, same thing applies. In single target, the difference here is that I'm not going to spend any of my melee buttons yet. I'm going to build to my 35 here, and I'm going to ignore the soul burst for now. But so I'm at 35. I'm just going to do this, and then I will talk about it as we go. But basically, what we're doing now in pure single target, I just want to clarify that again. Pure single target is that I am just going to Void Blade, Vengeful, Hunt, and then while I am traveling with the Hunt, I'm going to press meta, and then I will do the melee combo in meta like I would do normally. So I'll do that now. And obviously that's not perfect, but the main point I want to illustrate, and things aren't finalized anyway, but the main thing I want to illustrate here is that what's happening here is that, as you all know or are aware, or if you're not, when you are playing Void Scarred, the hunt during meta is empowered to a spell called Predator's Wake, which is the same thing, but it just does 30% more damage. But what's happening is that when I'm traveling, if I activate meta, when I hit the dummy, that's when the hunt's impact damage is triggered. Like, any damage for the hunt, it doesn't start until you impact the mob. So what's happening is that I'm entering meta on the way. So even though I cast this outside of meta, when I hit the mob, I'm hitting it as if I was in meta. So what this ends up doing is it's making the hunt, technically speaking, 30% stronger. You're getting 2 Predator's Wakes during your meta, which you'll never be able to do otherwise. And it's saving you a GCD that you would otherwise spend going into meta with like a Void Blade combo. But when you're doing the combo, a Vengeful is enough time that's enough. Like, I started like right there. This is enough space that if you're fast enough, you can press that meta and do it, I mean, extremely consistently. I've had a couple people test it, and it's really not hard to do, including myself. But if you really need more space, when you're doing this backflip, and I'll have Vengeful up in 1, but when you're doing this backflip, you're more than free to turn your camera around and then shift back if you really think you need more room. Because the hunt dot's nothing's applying from the hunt until you hit the target. It's not like Collapsing Star and technically Void Blade, because Void Blade's damage happens immediately. So it's not the same thing. It's what allows us to do this, is that the hunt is activating its damage when you hit the mob. And it's in Sims, like, I know this stuff usually is like super minute damage increases, but just smuggling the hunt in your opener is like a 3% increase in damage, which isn't a ton, but that's, for a minor tech that's really easy to do, that's pretty impressive. And it's something that you should definitely consistently be trying to do. And it's still a little up in the air, and me and John have talked about it kind of at length, of let's say the hunt is up in like 10 seconds. Do I hold meta, or do I just press the meta and then lose a little bit of uptime on the hunt? I'm kind of in the camp of I just press meta. I'm going to be back in meta in like 30 seconds anyway. But it's kind of up in the air right now. We're still working on it. But the main thing is that if you're someone that wants to practice early, or if you're watching this video in, season 2 has already started, you can entirely do smuggling the hunt into meta that way, and it honestly feels really cool to do. I really like it, actually. I think it's pretty cool to enter meta on the way. My dummy just blew up. But that's kind of one of the big thing that's kind of been a point of contention, is of like hunt and blade usage. But I'm gonna end off this video with just a clip of me doing the opener. Results can vary. Just practice it. There's been a lot of discussion around like, well, Annihilator sims are super behind, but I did Annihilator and I did good in a key. If we can get evidence, like Anni is good in AoE, but it's still not better than melee Void Scarred. But just try stuff out. This is the time to try stuff out until we kind of get concrete stuff and that can be put in the guides and everything like that. But I'll leave it there. Go ahead and drop into my Discord in the description below, or check out my written guide in the Fellhammer Discord, and enjoy the clip of the opener.